A battle of associate nations always is a good old scrap between two teams who have not made it to the highest echelons of the game, but are just a step away from there. And certainly with their presence in this tournament, they are in elite company. For now, they're playing against each other. We were wondering when it came to Namibia who their trump card would be. Well, they managed to find a trump man. And there he is, Ruben Trumpelman, absolutely destroying the top order of Scotland. 3 for 17 were his final figures. And don't count out Froiling with 2 for 10 in his 4 overs. Visa always picks up a wicket. And if it hadn't been for Leask's 44 of 27, Scotland would have not got close to even 3 figures. 109 for 8 should really be a formality for Namibia, but never count out when it's a contest between two evenly matched sides. On Cricbuzz Live, we'll just look at what sort of a total this might just end up be for Scotland. We've got Joy Bhattacharjya and Zaheer Khan, who had his sights set on Scotland for this game. Zaheer, right now, not looking too good for your boys.
Certainly not. Certainly not. That first spell from Trumpelman was really lethal, and that certainly had put smile on Joyda's face for sure from there on in. It's like the recovery was always going to be tough for Scotland. Last game was tough. I think somewhere that had an effect to play. In this, the main man Munzi, when he got out on the first ball, there was not much of a hope after that. But we saw some really good bowling and good body language, intent. That energy, passion, what we're talking about. All was visible. So yeah, by the looks of it, it's going to be very difficult for my team today to make a comeback now and turn things around from here.
Well, never say never, as I said, when it comes to two evenly matched sides. But I think what Namibia did right, Joy, briefly, Zaheer mentioned the body language. But after the Trumpelman attack early on, there could have been a recovery. And there has been in the past. We saw Greaves make them recover from 53 for 6 to a winning total. But in this case, the pressure kept on from the likes of Froiling and Visa.
Absolutely. And not just Froiling, Vise, all their bowlers bowled well. They had that, of course, also, I was just talking to Gautam about it. The first time I've seen 4 left-arm fast or medium-fast bowlers operate in the same match because, even you had Smith, you had Froiling, you had Trumpelman, and then you had Von Lingen as well. But I think they kept the pressure consistently. I loved how Vise controlled the middle overs. They use him like that, 2 overs in the middle, 2 overs in the end. And he just, international player from South Africa, so much more class. He's just slowing the ball down. He's almost playing with them, bringing one back, getting an LBW decision. So that was it. I think they had a very consistent attack and they never really let up on the pressure.
Well, if they do have a worldwide left-arm seamers club, Zaheer Khan would be right up there, chairman, managing director for many years. But it must please you to see 4 of them in the same lineup.
Absolutely, and you look at those dismissals as well. They were classic left-arm seamers dismissal. A few just angling across, holding its line. A few coming back in. So it was a treat to watch there. A bit of a swing. Which is rarity now in these days in modern cricket. You don't see often bowlers really focusing on swinging the ball. You saw all of it today. So yeah, it was a great day for left-handers out there to be amongst the wickets.
But really, now it's all about the recovery. If you look from Scotland's point of view, Joy, once you lose someone like Munzi, who's an impact player, and he went even before we had finished our build-up show, because we spilt one delivery into the innings and it was bye-bye Munzi. It's just sometimes when you have such an iconic player, and remember they lost Kyle Kutsa, their captain, just before the game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Kutsa and Munzi, basically one ball into the tournament, you're top 2 batsmen gone. And that is a really big mountain to recover from. To be honest with you, I think they did well. I think at some point in time, yes, Namibia bowled well. They could have put a bit more pressure. They could have come in a bit more. They could have topped it. I think they experimented a bit with their bowling as well. Lingen coming in. It was unnecessary. They had enough overs. They could have easily made it up. My point was that, but they would have ended up at what? They might have stopped them at 85, 90, 95. But I mean, the fact that they reached 109 is pretty creditable for them.
Did you spot, Zahir, anything in the surface as such? I mean, obviously, when there's a bit of swing around, it takes a decent bowler, and Rumpelmann's shown he can take advantage of it. It's one thing for there to be swing around, it's one thing for you to use it in the right way with the right lines and lengths.
Well, any day on any surface, as a bowler, if you get the ball in the right areas, you work with swing, you work with your strengths. You'll always have good rewards for that. But today was a top notch effort by the bowlers, Trumpelman to start with. When you start innings like that, and that just kind of lifts up the whole team, and that's what we saw today. So I think there is not much in the wicket as we see it, uh, but it's just the energy which was created by all the bowlers, and putting Scotland under pressure and keeping it going through and through. So in spite of Leask playing that kind of an innings, he didn't really have that kind of a support to take his team to a total which can really make a difference. I feel yes, they've managed to do very well to get to 109. But when you just look at the conditions, I don't think they have enough to pull it through. Because you need a spectacular bowling performance like what we've seen from the Namibian bowlers, and more often than not, we've seen when a team gets on with this kind of a momentum, that kind of carries through in the game itself. So I think Namibia has got that momentum with them, and Scotland will be wondering at this point, that what they could have done better. So by looking at all those things, I feel Namibia is certainly in with a chance now in the second half.
Well, in with a huge chance. What they also did well, Joy, you've touched upon Visa and how he controlled the innings. The end of the innings. Now, remember that 53 for 6 we alluded to. Greaves was there. The lower order can throw their bats around. They ended that particular innings really well to get to 140 plus. What they couldn't do, again, thanks to Namibia, is finish the innings well. 17 runs in those final few slog overs. And I think Froiling there was chief to finish up with 4 overs for just 10 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. That's 17 in the last three. When you in the last three, you cannot go for less
Last
than 6
four.
over. Yes, 17 the last 4. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it is the last 4. Yeah, that I think is a spectacular performance. They've just not allowed them to go. And I think 92. That's 92 when you're sitting at 92 and 16. You expect them to kick on and get 120. Then I mean that's the point at where you say at least 120, maybe 125 is not so far away. And I think Froiling is in your team. I think he was anxious to please you, so he came back really well. And I think, what he did also smartly, he knew the batsmen are moving around the crease. He went round the wicket. Either you hit or I hit. Those are the kind of things, smart bowling, smart decisions. And then Vijay comes in and just bowls his slow balls into the pitch, and they just can't connect. They just can't time him at all.
Now, if it had this been any other match, Zaheer, we would have started saying, okay, 109 on the board. Let's start thinking of net run rate because it could be crucial later in the tournament. I think Namibia will be a little more realistic that net run rate isn't going to be coming into the equation when it comes to qualifying for the semi-finals. So given that, what is the kind of approach they're likely to have? Because they want to just finish this match with 2 points. So there's no need to be ultra aggressive and say, look, we've got a train to catch.
Absolutely, I think a World Cup win is a World Cup win. We were touching it upon in the previous show as well, that how important it is for a team like associate nations, to come in these kind of tournaments and then have wins under their belt. That's what gives you the most confidence. So I think the focus will be on just going out there and making sure that you win the game. Yes. If someone gets onto a good start, you will see them playing with that kind of intent, and maybe look to finish the game early as well. But they will not go looking for it. Is what I feel. They'll still stick to their processes and look to just get a win under their belt.
Well, the left arm seamer von Lingen is opening the batting for Namibia. Just to finish off, the one thing they'll really want, as Zaheer mentioned, a picture of the points table, assuming they win this game at the end. Namibia, India below them, frame it up, put it up in a Namibian dressing room, and let that be there for life.
No, I fully agree with you. They just, these are the moments that associate nations live for, to be able to play in that situation, be ahead for even if it's for a day or 2 days, to be ahead of them. And I think there's so much more passion in that cricket because they have so much further to go. When we are supporters of big teams, you become blasé. Our team will always play a World Cup in cricket. But if you tell us football fans, they say World Cup in football, it's a dream. I think we've got to look with that lens at what teams like Namibia and Scotland are doing. And you realize that the fun is just so much more for them.
Well, we thought we'd wait till maybe a delivery into the innings to see if Brad Wheel can produce what Trumpelman did. He hasn't. If anything, it's their left-arm seamer, Von Lingen, who's smashed a boundary off the very second ball. So Namibia are up and running in pursuit of 109. We reckon the 2 points are pretty much all but in the bag. Stranger things have happened, and if it does happen, we'll review it on Cricbuzz Combox in the 10th over. If not, we've got a couple of games to talk about at the end. That's all from Cricbuzz Live. We'll see you soon.